and a very warm welcome to this special. Today we are doing a mid-season review of IPL 2022. What are some of the trends that have emerged so far? Who have been the standout performers? What have been some of the surprises that none of us expected? We talk about it. Nikhil Narain's here with me. He's done some number crunching, has come up with some of those trends. One being that that toss is not that big an advantage anymore, and which augurs well for the tournament in the coming days. But Nikhil, lots to discuss here. Surprises galore. Never expected Gujarat Titans and Sunrisers Hyderabad to be the top two teams in the points table mid-season. But that's what IPL is about. That's why we love this tournament. That's why, surprising as it may be, you still think that Mumbai might turn around. I don't know. A lot of people, especially Mumbai fans, would want that. CSK fans would want CSK to turn things around. But this is why IPL becomes so interesting, where surprises happen all the time.
Absolutely, Meha. It's been a fascinating first half in the 15th edition of the IPL. Some things which have panned out are on expected lines, but others, like the rise of Gujarat Titans after a terrible auction strategy, the rise of Sunrisers Hyderabad without, a batting lineup.
Yeah.
These very surprising trends. Then winning the toss and chasing, which was finally broken in the 35th match by the best, most charismatic captain of the tournament, Hardik Pandya of all people, who we were criticizing before the tournament that he's not a good leader. It's a very a very interesting first half in the tournament with some interesting trends.
Yeah. Okay. So now, before we get to the trends, let's take a look at the points table so that we can see where each team stands and then take this conversation further. Like Nikhil and I were saying, Gujarat Titan at the top. Who would have thought, having just lost one game out of the 7 games that they've played? I mean, that's how incredible Gujarat Titans have been, and everything coming together for them. Their batting, bowling, fielding, captaincy from Hardik Pandya, top notch. Sunrisers Hyderabad have surprised everyone with their turnaround. 4 matches they won on the trot after having lost the first 2 games. And I mean, Nikhil and I were quite cynical about whether things will turn around for them, but they did. Then there is Rajasthan Royals, who did incredibly well in the auction and have somewhat gone predictable in this tournament so far. Royal Challengers Bangalore, well, Virat Kohli's fortunes may not be good at the moment, but Royal Challengers Bangalore do look good in this tournament. Then there is Lucknow Super Giants in the 5th position, again for Lucknow as well. There have been inconsistency. You've seen some of the matches where the team's not come good, but you can expect them to do better. DC, Kolkata Knight Riders, Punjab Kings, the only surprise there, because we said Punjab Kings would be in the top 4, but again, this is mid-season. We still have a long way to go. And then, my goodness, CSK and Mumbai Indians. Mumbai are playing a match tonight. Can they finally win? I mean, that's the question that everybody's asking. Everything seems to have gone wrong for these 2 teams, the most successful teams in the IPL.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of points for me. If you see the points table, Meha, firstly, the top 3 teams. If we can see the top 3 teams, GT, RR and SRH. SRH is number 2. These 3 have the best bowling units in the tournament.
Yes.
After the auction and even during the tournament, GT has taken the maximum wickets in the power play. SRH has the best economy rate and the best bowling average in the tournament, and RR is the most restrictive unit in the power play with 4 world-class bowlers. So it does not come as a surprise that 3 teams with the best bowling units are in the top 3 position, because historically teams with higher impact bowling units have done better than teams with higher impact batting units.
I agree with you somewhat, but you've also got to take their batting. I mean, look at Jos Buttler. No other team's doing what Jos Buttler and Rajasthan Royals are doing. It's the same with Gujarat Titans, the consistency that we find with Shubman Gill, Hardik Pandya. Of course, I believe when you say the bowling unit has to be good, these 3 are by far the best bowling units. But just to see how well these 3 teams have come, be it with their batting and bowling. Yes, but will things turn around? Will things change? Well, a lot of the teams in the bottom half of the table would be hoping for that. But one thing that has changed in the tournament is toss advantage. We didn't think about it. We thought it was going to be, it was going to play a huge role, but things have changed when it comes to batting first. And look at that. for the first time after 34 matches, right? You saw a captain finally saying, you know what? The results have been going in the favor of team batting first in the recent times. I'm going to change that trend. And who else but Hardik Pandya did that for his team. The trend was broken by Hardik Pandya. Didn't go in his favor, or did it?
It did.
Yes, it did.
They won by 8 runs.
Okay, they won by 8 runs, and there you take a look at that. That trend was broken by Hardik Pandya and in a winning effort. But if you just look at the trend so far, from the beginning to now, it has completely changed towards the latter half of this season so far, isn't that so?
Absolutely.
First, it was completely advantage for the team chasing. Now it's in the last 14 matches, team batting first has won 8 and chasing 6. So
absolutely
completely skewed.
The trend has reversed. So overall, it's 36 matches have been played. It's still, advantage to team chasing, 20 out of 16. But that, that gap is been reducing constantly as the tournament has been progressing. As you just mentioned, in the last 14 matches, it is actually 8-6 to the team batting first. So therefore, I think now, with Hardik Pandya finally winning the toss and deciding to bat first, I think more and more captains will do that as the tournament progresses. The dew factor becomes less. It's getting hotter in Mumbai and Pune. Spinners are coming into play. So, teams will want to, put up a big target, and they'll be comfortable in defending it. So I think batting first might just be the more dominating trend from now on.
Especially, I think, with the teams that have so far won batting first, Rajasthan being
all
one
matches.
Of those teams that have won all their matches batting first, is that you just go out there and put up a huge total, a 200 plus total. And I know the teams have come really close to chasing that total, but just towards the end, they stumble. And I think one of the major reasons is scoreboard pressure in that case. And we've seen that with some of the teams. But it is also yo-yoed, because you've seen first teams, right in the beginning, chasing being an advantage, then batting first became an advantage, then chasing. But towards the latter half, it has been team batting first that has had the advantage. Now, so like we said, batting second was advantageous in first 8 games, and since then, 1 chasing and batting first was just 1 game. This was in the first 8 matches.
Correct.
Then next 4 matches,
all
batting first have won those matches. So again, yo-yoed. Then next 10 matches, 7 have been won by teams chasing, 3 by batting first, and then in the last 14 matches, as Nikhil was just saying, 8-6 in favor of the team batting first. So it'll be interesting now to see what the strategy of the captains would be in the coming matches. Okay, now let's talk about a team that has surprised us all, not with their performance, but with their no-show so far in the tournament. They are playing a match tonight. Will things change for Mumbai Indians? That's the question that everybody is asking. But as of now, nothing seems to be working for Mumbai Indians. Their batting is not clicking. Rohit Sharma, lack of form. Ishan Kishan, the price tag pressure after those first 2 matches has struggled. The bowling, Kieron Pollard. I mean, there are just so many problems with this team right now.
So many problems, yes. For me, the 3 big reasons are failure with the bat of Rohit Sharma, complete failure of the all-rounder destructive prowess of Kieron Pollard, and Jasprit Bumrah not being effective in the power play. Of course, you can add to that a lack of a leg spinner. There is no quality left armour or a support fast bowler for Jasprit Bumrah, like they had Trent Bolt in the last couple of seasons. Rohit Sharma's batting, has gone down to a real low this season. He hasn't done well, Meha, since 2017 for Mumbai Indians, incidentally. In none of those seasons since 2017, he has an average of above 30 or a strike rate above 130, which is shocking, which means he is neither playing the role of an accumulator, nor is he providing the cameos. But he's been doing so very consistently for India, winning matches single-handedly. So there's something about when he bats for Mumbai Indians, which is very similar to what's happening with Virat Kohli when he bats for India, when he bats for RCB. We will get to that later. But if you see the batting average of Mumbai Indians collective, 23.06 since the last IPL, when they also did not make to the playoffs. It's the lowest for any team. So batting is letting them down. Ishan Kishan started with a couple of 50s, but 5 failures thereafter. I think 15.5 crores, 15.25 crores.
That's right, 15.25.
A lot of burden. A lot of burden. I think he's, Also, we have not seen the same free-flowing Ishan Kishan who we saw in 2020 when he blasted 500 runs at a strike rate of 145 plus. That's not happening. He looks very subdued. He's, you know, he's looking very eager to score runs, but it's not happening for him. But Kieron Pollard, he's like the white elephant. And he hasn't been dropped. I don't know why. I mean, at least for 1 or 2 matches, rest him. Get Tim David, give him Tim David gave him so much expectation. This Singaporean who can win matches single-handedly in the low order plays a similar role to Kieron Pollard. Pollard hasn't done anything with the ball either. Economy rate of 10 plus, and then Jasprit Bumrah, only 1 wicket in the power play in 7 innings. I mean, his issue with the new ball, see, he's not giving runs, but that is also because batsmen are playing him out. 1 wicket in the power play for Bumrah, I mean, he is MI's main threat with the ball.
And also they've tried everything. It's not that they haven't tried. They have tried. When it comes to the bowling especially, Mumbai Indians have tried everything. They've got Timur Mills in, they've made him sit out, they've got Riley Meredith in, they've made him sit out. Daniel Sams came in and did well in the last match, but again to no avail. They lost that game. Again, also with Murugan Ashwin, they got Ritik Shaukin. I mean, at the end of the day, the team that you have, the core of the team that you've got, if they're not performing, things are going to be very difficult. And that's what's happening with Mumbai. The top 4 players in their side who they've depended on throughout in the last season, last season, they've not been performing well. And that's what is the problem with Mumbai Indians. Okay, now let's talk about the table toppers, Gujarat Titans, and their story. And what a wonderful story it has been. First tournament, Hardik Pandya, the questions around his captaincy, whether he'll be able to captain, does he have the leadership skills, can he really bat well, is he going to bowl at all? All of that has been laid to rest, and the bowling attack is simply superb.
Absolutely superb. Firstly, Hardik Pandya. He has been the biggest factor where GT is right now on the points table. He's the 2nd highest scorer of the tournament. And this is the same Hardik Pandya, Meha, who could not bat for Mumbai Indians last year. And we had all said he has lost his batting prowess. He cannot hit the ball. But Hardik Pandya, this year, he's promoted himself at number 4. He played the role of the anchor. And then he suddenly, in one of the matches, decided that I'll show you, that same Hardik Pandya who used to play for Mumbai Indians and score at 170 plus, he still has that hitting prowess with him. And in one of the innings, he did that, 80 or 40 odd balls. So Hardik Pandya is playing the role of the anchor when he's now also playing the role of the aggressor in the lower order. He's
bowling
opening
quick.
the bowling. He's opening the bowling. He's clocking 140, opening the bowling, and his economy rate of 4.66 in the power play is the best in this tournament in the power play. So, Hardik Pandya also astute fielding changes, astute bowling changes. So he's also been a very hands-on, brilliant captain, which none of us expected. So he's been the talisman behind this rise of Gujarat Titans, who frankly, I still think did not have a great auction. I don't think they have, if you see the collective potential of this team, it is teams like Punjab Kings, Lucknow are far superior.
On paper, absolutely.
But Gujarat Titans has surprised us all.
Yeah, but the difference being that Gujarat Titans, the people they bet on, they're performing, be it Shubman Gill, be it Mohammad Shami, be it Lockie Ferguson, be it Rashid Khan. I mean, these are the players they said, we're going to bet on you, and all of them are playing well. Shubman Gill, 207 runs at a strike rate of 151.
Changed himself completely.
Exactly. And this is the same Shubman Gill who didn't care about strike rate at one point.
KKR.
Okay. Then there is Mohammad Shami. How well has he been bowling in the power plays? Every time he's bowling, you feel like
6 of his wickets are in the power play. 6 of the 10 wickets are in the power play, and the economy is also 6 in the power play. So he's been brilliant in the power play.
Then Lockie Ferguson, 9 wickets in 7 matches. I mean, these are great success stories of Gujarat Titans. And then there is, of course, the proven performer Rashid Khan, 8 wickets at an economy of 6.5.
Every year.
So
every year.
Not only are you not being able to play him, or if you want to play him, you still get out to him, despite not wanting to get out to him, because look at that economy of Rashid Khan. So yeah, brilliant story of Gujarat Titans. Now, that is Hardik Pandya leading Gujarat Titans brilliantly. Should we move on now? We'll move on now to the next thing. The next story is the reversal of fortunes of two teams in the tournament so far. One being Kolkata Knight Riders, who began with a bang, but then somewhere fell into this slump. They've been losing matches. And complete contrast to that is Sunrisers Hyderabad. Lost the first two matches, but then have come back so strong that everybody's talking about them, and they're now in the second position in the points table. How wonderful is this story of Sunrisers Hyderabad? Because you're talking about teams on paper after auction, how they were doing, but who would have thought of Sunrisers Hyderabad? We talk about Kolkata Knight Riders in just a bit, but you and I both said Sunrisers Hyderabad, I don't think they're getting out of that bottom two or three anytime soon. They've turned it around, and how?
Absolutely. They lost the first couple of matches, and I had said then I think they'll finish in the last two, but now they have won their last 5 matches, and again a team whose batting is still very weak. But the 2 or 3 players, who can potentially do it for them are performing now. But the story for them is also their bowling. Their bowling is the reason why SRH is, is number 2 on the points table. T. Natarajan. What a great, success story he's been. He's back with a bang. 15 wickets. He's now the second highest wicket taker of this tournament.
Every over he gets, first over he bowls, he's getting a wicket.
Absolutely. And he's brilliant in the death overs also. So he's absolutely brilliant, T. Natarajan. Then also, apart from Markram, how good has he been? Aiden Markram, he's been very consistent. Then Rahul Tripathi, he's continued from where he left for KKR. Last year he scored 397 runs for KKR. Meha had a strike rate of 140. He was the unsung hero. KKR made it to the final. But Tripathi this year again, look at that strike rate, 175, and he's a top order batsman. Marco Jansen, yesterday, how good was he? Finally showcasing what the, tall South African is all about. Left arm, with pace, awkward bounce, making use of his height. So, Umran Malik, we were all criticizing Umran Malik that he may be bowling 150, 155.
But he's playing it all around.
Yeah, I mean, the economy was going above 10, 11, 12. But yesterday, again, a match-winning performance. So, SR 4 for 28 against Punjab Kings in his last match. So the SRH, with the limited resources they are they've completely reversed their fortunes and they've stunned everyone. I mean, SRH was one team who I didn't expect at all to be, in the top 4 in the halfway stage. And look at this, 16 wickets in the power play, which is the second highest, and 21 at the death, which is the highest for any team in the tournament. So the bowling is absolutely brilliant for SRH.
Why do I have a feeling that Dale Steyn has a role in this? Somewhere I feel like things have really changed in their bowling. I mean, these are the same bowlers, but they just seem to be, really blossoming, really performing, doing well in this season. Okay, but you have Sunrisers Hyderabad, who won 5 matches on the trot. Then you have Kolkata Knight Riders, who actually began well, won 3 of their first 4 matches, but since then have lost 4 matches. Well, the over-dependence on Andre Russell's not helping. He can do, I mean, he is not Superman. At the end of the day, as much as you want him to be, and he sometimes can be, but he cannot win you every game because nothing else seems to be falling in place for them other than Andre Russell, with the ball and with the bat.
Absolutely. I think the 3 main reasons why KKR have gone down so dramatically. Firstly is that they're very rigid about this all-out attack policy which Brendan McCullum has propagated, which paid them rich dividends. They made it to the final last year after a terrible first half. This year they started well, winning 3 out of the 4 matches, but somewhere that policy is now backfiring. See, Venkatesh Iyer hasn't fired. It's a big factor. Venkatesh Iyer was the main reason in the UAE leg why they stormed into the final.
Absolutely.
He's failed completely with the bat. He's not doing well opening the innings. They promoted him down, sent him down the order. He's not doing scoring runs there as a finisher. Pat Cummins' economy rate. Pat Cummins, I mean, he might have scored the fastest, joint fastest 15, 14 balls, but his economy rate, I mean, he is leaking runs, and he was dropped from the last match. As you said, there's over-dependence on Russell, who produced 1 great
Varun
innings.
Chakravarti's mystery is gone.
He has been perhaps the biggest disappointment of all. He hasn't picked any wickets in the tournament. He's not, and he made a statement, he's discovering a new leg break, a new mystery ball, but there is no mystery left. And I also noticed he's bowling very slow through the air. Varun Chakravarti's USP Meha was, I used to bowl, he was a fast leg break bowler, and that was, batsman did not pick up his speed, but now he's bowling really slowly. Kohli. There is no mystery. He's not picking wickets. I think also it's got to do with, simultaneous rise of Kulcha, which we'll discuss. And now they are being talked about as the number 1 and 2 spinner for India again. I think somewhere Varun is also feeling that pressure, that because his name was there. He was till very recently India's number 1 leg spinner. He was playing for India, but now he's not even at number 6 in the pecking order.
Also, this almost seems like to me, I mean, this is in fact, India would be playing more T20 series, international series from here on after the IPL as well. South Africa is coming here, but this also is a dress rehearsal of sorts for the World Cup. Absolutely. And the pressure is on the likes of Deepak Hooda, with Hardik Pandya performing so well. The pressure on Varun Chakravarti, like you said. Pressure possibly on Virat Kohli, I don't know. And talking of Virat Kohli, and I know this is the favorite topic these days, Virat Kohli's lack of form. This is almost like it's been 2 years that everybody is hoping and praying and saying he's one good innings away. He's going to get 100 soon, but it is not happening. And this is the longest slump I've seen. Today I was, I was doing some number crunching, and I saw all the greats, they've not had this kind of a slump.
They haven't.
Sachin Tendulkar, the slump didn't go on for 2 years ever in his career. And this just, you feel bad for the player. He is one of the greatest, undoubtedly. But just the way he's been getting out, even yesterday, the way he got out, and his expressions right after that, I mean, you just feel bad for this great player.
Absolutely. It's just shocking what has happened. He's going down deeper and deeper into an abyss. 2 golden ducks for the first time in his IPL history. 2 golden ducks.
And the way he's gotten out. The way he got out yesterday.
Absolutely. And 2 run-outs apart from that. And then 2 more dismissals were when he played the ball uppishly. Virat Kohli doesn't, give his wicket away playing the ball uppishly. He's been a master at, like Vivian Richards used to say, Vivian Richards was a destructive batsman, Meha, but Vivian Richards seldom hit the ball in the air. Vivian Richards, used to hit a number of boundaries. Of course, he hit sixes, but those sixes are very calculated. He was not a reckless batsman. Virat Kohli is very similar. He attached a price on his wicket, although he was an aggressive batsman, and he liked to play the ball on the ground. He never played reckless shots in the air. So Virat Kohli, his numbers, I mean, look at his numbers if you can play that out. 119 runs in the tournament in 7 innings. I mean, it's the worst for a number 3 batsman. Just a 140, no 50, no match-winning knock. His strike rate is in the 120s since the last 3 editions for RCB. No century for 100 innings now. It's Virat Kohli.
But the thing is, I know people have been talking about how he should take a break. My thing is that is his place safe if he takes a break to that World Cup? I'm sorry, but things have changed drastically.
No, that question is being asked now.
He's not somebody at this moment whose place is safe in that playing list, in that playing 11. And that's why my question is that, and I don't remember Sachin Tendulkar taking a break. I mean, the only time he took a break was when he had to go for an elbow surgery, but that wasn't a break. He was recuperating from a surgery. I don't see too many Indian players taking a break.
But I think the break, being recommended for Virat Kohli by even close confidants like Ravi Shastri is because they feel that his lack of form is due to this mental strain with whatever has happened with the BCCI.
And how is he going to feel better with that?
Maybe
by getting runs.
Yes, but maybe, when you move away for a month and then you come back, maybe that it happens. I mean,
I agree with you. I agree. I mean, I know that everybody has a way of looking at what's happening with Virat Kohli, and that's probably his life. That's how his life is being discussed on and off the field. But my question is that when you say he should take a break, would that help him in a way that, he gets back to form? Also, the insecurity. Virat Kohli hardly ever. One of the things when he missed the match where KL Rahul ended up captaining that game, KL Rahul said that he never thought Virat Kohli would sit out for a smaller kind of a problem, and he was surprised because Virat Kohli is not one to miss matches. So anyway, it's a conversation we could have for an hour.
Yeah, it's getting to him, and there is family now. So, lots of factors. We'll get to know. South Africa is coming here from the 9th of June. We'll see what happens.
But yes, Virat Kohli's What's wrong with Virat Kohli? That's the big question that everyone's asking. And this IPL is just, in this IPL, everyone's continued to ask that because he doesn't seem to be getting any runs. Okay, let's move on then to the boss of this IPL so far, Jos the boss. I mean, that's one way of approaching the IPL. You say, you know what, I'll just try and hit hundreds every time I go out. And the thing is, when you look at his personality, he's so unlike what he is with the bat, right? Soft-spoken, the quiet type. I was seeing an interview today. I mean, he and Ravichandran Ashwin were talking to each other, asking questions of each other. And he described himself as quiet and kind. Nothing that goes with his batting.
Yeah. I mean, look at the number of runs he has scored, and given RR will make the playoffs in all probability.
Yeah.
You know, Virat Kohli's record of those 900 plus runs of 260 is under serious threat.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing some number crunching, and if you see Virat Kohli in the first 7 matches when he scored those 900 plus runs, I think he scored 438, less than Jos Buttler. So he is on his way to achieving something special. You know, 433 runs in first 7 innings, so achieving something.
So he's
special.
already 490.
He's already ahead at the same point. So he's ahead of Virat Kohli.
974 is a long ask, but still.
It's a long ask, but I think
it.
they will play 16 matches in tournament, striking at 157. And again, a fascinating stat which I found out was that Jos Buttler, the IPL opener, has the highest strike rate of 157 in IPL history, ahead of Chris Gale, Virender Sehwag and Prithvi Shaw. So that is
really
unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. So Jos Buttler has been absolutely sensational, and there is no stopping.
He seems to be batting on another planet.
Absolutely.
It's like everybody else is on different pitches at Brabant, Wankhede. He's got his own pitch.
And
he
because
takes
of
it
him,
out, unrolls it and starts batting on it.
Because of him, RR's batting unit hasn't done well overall. I mean, Sanju Samson hasn't yet performed to his potential, but it's getting camouflaged because he is scoring so many runs that, you know, they don't need to. It's absolutely fascinating.
It is fascinating, but can he cross that 974 the way he's going? There's every chance that he could. Let's move on now to the wrist spinners doing well. Now, during the auction, one of the things Nikhil and I discussed was how wrist spinners didn't go for the kind of money we thought they would have, given that they are so important in this format. And rightfully so. Look at that, 4 leg spinners in top 10 wicket takers in the tournament so far. I know that fast bowlers went for a lot of money. I think Vanindu Hasaranga being the only one who went for 10 crores. But all the others, we were wondering, how come they've not really been bought for that kind of money? But look at that. The resurgence of Yuzvendra Chahal. Now this Kulcha is Kulcha going to be on that flight to Australia?
They're on the flight and they're in the first playing 11. I think Ashwin is not playing. Kulcha is playing the T20 World Cup for India, 100% guaranteed. See, Kulcha is back. Yuzvendra Chahal transformation started, you know, in the second leg of the last year's IPL when he was the highest wicket taker. Then he returned with 14 wickets in the Vijay Hazare Trophy. He was excellent in the Saeed Mushtaq, which followed. And now he's just continued. You know, he's just continued 18 wickets, strike rate of 9.3. That is unbelievable. That's striking every, 9 deliveries. And Kuldeep Yadav, what a fascinating story. Absolutely sidelined by KKR, down and out, nowhere.
Sidelined by the Indian team.
Also sidelined by the Indian team, but just a change of team has done wonders for Kuldeep Yadav. 13 wickets, strike rate of 12.3. Kulcha is back. Kulcha is definitely playing for the Indian team. Apart from these two, Hasaranga, he's doing what Chahal used to do for RCB. 11 wickets in 8 matches. And Rahul Chahar is very impressive, 10 wickets in 7 matches. And Mumbai Indians would be ruining the fact they've let Rahul Chahar go, the unsung hero in 2019 and 2020. Also, overall, if you see wrist spinners, have a better bowling average and bowling strike rate than Pacers in the tournament. Pacers started off very well, picking a number of wickets. But since then, the wrist spinner has started to dominate.
Okay, will this trend continue? We'll have to wait and watch out for that. But we'll move on now to the royal finishers in IPL 2022. I mean, did you really think we'd not talk about Dinesh Karthik in the mid-season trends? Dinesh Karthik, and how incredible he's been for Royal Challengers Bangalore. One of the reasons why Royal Challengers are in the top 4 is the kind of consistency that Dinesh Karthik has shown in finishing and the job of the finishers. Let's talk a bit about who have been the standout finishers, Nikhil.
For me, 3 of them, Shimron Hetmeyer, Dinesh Karthik, and also Shivam Dube, also Liam Livingstone, but he'll be a number 4 for me. Look at Shimron Hetmyer, 224 innings in 224 runs in 7 innings, strike rate of 180 almost, 4 high impact innings, and he has not failed in any of those 7 innings, couple of 20s there also. And this is the same Shimron Hetmyer. We were again questioning that why has the franchise paid so much money for him? I mean, he's not at the same level of Nicholas Pooran. He hasn't done well last season, but he has just silenced us all. I'm actually stunned by his performance. Those 4 high impact knocks were absolutely sensational. Dinesh Karthik, 210 runs, striking at 200, and he has come out to bat when RCB has lost early wickets. Virat Kohli hasn't done well. Glenn Maxwell, only 1 innings hasn't done well. It's not been the greatest of year for Glenn Maxwell also. Faf has done well, but not brilliantly. So Dinesh Karthik, the way he's hitting the ball over mid-wicket picking, he is the finisher for India along with Hardik Pandya now. No doubts about it. And Dube, I thought his fortunes asli mein doob gaye the, if I can use that. But he is just for CSK. Although CSK is not doing well. I mean, yes, Dhoni has rekindled their fortunes a bit, but I don't think they'll make it to the playoffs. Far from it. But Shivam Dube, the batsman, reminding us of a bit of Yuvraj Singh, that flair from the outside, tall, standing
300,
tall.
that's a strike rate.
These are death over strike rates. Hetmyer is 308, that's Dube 300, and Dinesh Karthik 283. I mean, these 3 have been absolutely sensational in the death overs, finishing matches and finishing innings batting first.
And what they've done is that they have created this trend, which we thought was quite interesting, where we now seen in this IPL that power plays is not where runs are being scored. It's in the middle overs and then the death overs, of course.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating trend. Firstly, if you see this graphic, one thing I saw that the power play run rate of IPL 2020, 2021 and 2022 is exactly the same. I don't know how. I rechecked it thrice. It's 7.71 all 3. It's just one of those coincidences, unbelievable. But if you see the trend, see middle overs, the run rate has increased. It's from 7.8, 7.75 last 2 seasons average to 8.43. That is a really high middle overs run rate. It's the highest ever in any single edition of the IPL. And if you see the death overs, again, an average of 10 last 2 seasons to 11.23. So cautious in the power play, preserve wickets, go all out in the middle overs, and go further all out in the death overs. This is the trend in this IPL.
And I think the way the openers have been batting as well for some of the teams, you see that that's added to that. Because if a lot of openers were doing well, but we haven't seen that in this tournament as well. I mean, maybe if Rohit Sharma got going in the tournament already, things would have changed with the others. Jos Buttler probably is the only one who's adding to that with the way he's batting. But those are the trends so far, the mid-season review. What do you think of it? Do write in to us and tell us whether you like our programming, any suggestions you have for us, which is the team that you're following, which is the team that you think that can win the title this time. Well, Mumbai seems out of it. I think with 8 teams, 14 was not really the number of points that would qualify them. So it looks like with 10 teams, it's not going to be possible. But hey, who knows? At the moment, that's it from Nikhil and me. Hope you enjoyed this show. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.